Yes. All right. Hey, everybody. Lucid One Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team here. I am here with Joe. He contacted us yesterday afternoon about a sighting of a small family group of 3 individuals that he had, what was it, 11 o'clock in the morning around that time frame?
Yes.
And this is not even 24 hours old. So talked to him at 10:30 last night, made plans to hook up down in Scott County, are we? Rice County. And we're on location right now. Now, Joel, from your own words, what took place yesterday morning?
Well, you guys had requested some information as far as about some rock formations. I had came out and, well, got into the woods and I was looking for the rock formations, and then I came down over a ridge, and as soon as I was coming down the ridge, I had seen all 3 of them standing next to each other, and well, that's when I decided to exit.
So all 3 of them, can you describe the size differences between the 3 individuals that you've seen?
Well, the dad, or the largest one, is about 9.5 foot tall. The second tallest is about 8.5, and the third is approximately 7 foot tall.
So you said that they were relatively close together.
Yes.
Well, how close would you say that they were in distance-wise?
Pretty much shoulder to shoulder.
So you got to see them right next to each other.
Yes.
And so there was really no distance between them. They were all kind of grouped right, bam, right there.
Yes.
And this being at 11 o'clock in the morning, could you make out any coloration of the 3?
Yes. They were a lighter brown, not quite what you would think they would be because of the sun. So yes.
How is the hair on the body? Can you describe that?
It's real long and just like a sheep's wool.
Okay. Kind of matted.
Matted, and there are some straight.
Okay. Was it, how would you say, long and flowy, or was it kind of like very dirty, tingy, close to the body?
Well, it was a little closer to the body, but it still had some fluff to it.
Gotcha. Anything else that you noticed at this time? Any smell, perhaps?
Absolutely no smell.
Okay.
Whatsoever.
Got some clean squatches down here then.
Yes.
How close were you to where they were?
Approximately 100 yards.
Okay. So a pretty good distance. Now, within to the point where you were at to where they're at, was it littered with trees like we're kind of looking right in here, or what made you look up, and how did you catch them? What made you look up at them?
Well, I had my kid with me and everything, so I was on high alert, so I was looking around, and being an avid hunter, I'm used to scanning everything that I need to scan, and I looked down off to my left, and right there they are.
100 yards away from you.
Yes.
So did you like catch them out of the corner of your eye, and you just seen movement, or?
I literally turned my head to look down the hill so that I could actually look through the woods.
So you had a higher point of view from where they were at?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was just basically on top of them.
Gotcha. Wow. So, 4:56, July 10th, in the morning of, we're going to penetrate these woods, and we're going to he's gonna take me to the location. I'm thinking where you first spotted them, and
Yes.
possibly, hopefully, we can get something going on here. Equipped with the FLIR, and of course this night vision camera. So I got plaster of Paris. So if we do come across some prints, we'll be casting them. Stay tuned. So right there is
Right here. And I seen them about 50 yards that way.
okay.
To your left.
Keep going. You kind of nervous?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And you see, they were right there. When I came in yesterday, I came up this way. So, and all this longer stuff here, like this one,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't here 3 days ago. So my girlfriend told me to come over this way because of the rock formation.
You got a second?
Yeah.
Just kind of looking at this. Oh, this is actually pinned down.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. That's cool.
And you see how all these are falling like that? Stacked.
Okay.
You okay?
Oh yeah.
directionality I went. There's a real heavy deer trail right here.
Yep, I see that.
And well, I got out here about 10:30 in the morning. And now that's a fresh break that I hadn't seen 3 days before. We're out here mushroom picking a lot. And what my new girlfriend does is utilizes fallen trees as her navigation. So keeps getting going around in this wood. It's the only wood that she gets going around in. Here's the rock formation. Right here. I know that's not humans putting all that there. It was pretty much square. So then now that I actually found it for you. Rotted wood,
Yeah.
and you're jumping from rotted wood to rotted wood.
So you believe that's how they get it around without stepping on sticks and leaves, is just jumping from down tree to rotted wood to rotted wood?
Yep.
Okay.
So now
Just the way this is kind of broke.
Yeah.
It's old, really, really old.
Yep. How about this kind? I'm starting to head back towards the vehicle. And I was heading right down here. And I saw him standing right down there.
Right where that light's shining.
Yep.
So that's absolutely fewer than 100 yards.
Well, at that point in time, I was pretty frightened.
Yeah. Let's go take a look around. Seeing what this was just less than 24 hours ago.
Right down here. And right in this area here.
What I want to do is I want to do some wood knocks and see if we can get any replies. We'll be back. All right, guys. I'm sure you can hear it yourself. Birds are just going off. Say, Joel, when you had your sighting yesterday morning, was it
Yes.
this active in the woods with bird activity?
Not at all.
You know, and after doing some knocks and waiting around for a little while, I feel fairly confident in saying that they're not in this location, at least right now. Sounds like you could use some bug spray.
Oh, yeah.
Did you bring any?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So there's a creek nearby. I think we're gonna go check out. They always travel the creeks, so we'll be right back in a little bit. So we're just walking on the dirt road here. This section is where you see, who's seen the juvenile here in this part?
I heard him over there.
You heard him over there?
Replying back.
We got a creek right behind us. We got some marshland, cattails coming up. Creek is snaking its way through that way. To the left and the right is all state owned. Very pretty down here. Absolutely.
See some trails there.
Any thoughts on what they were doing at that time of day when you had your sighting yesterday morning?
Well, I think they were probably getting ready to go hunt or what have you.
From what we know about them, hunting usually takes place at dusk. When it comes down to like killing deer, and that is usually, they become more carnivorous in the wintertime.
Okay. Maybe they were getting ready to go gather some food.
Forage or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
And right here where
We turned around?
turned around,
Yep.
my girlfriend had seen 2 rabbits
Just dead.
dead, side by side, heads facing the road.
That's odd. How far back does this actually go?
It goes
Quite a ways, don't it? Kinda
back
looks,
to roughly the smaller tree way back there, in between the real tall and
Sure.
the big.
the bushy one, gotcha, right in between
Yes.
there.
And that's basically the property line right there. And it keeps stretching down for miles.
Right on. Okay. Alright. Alright, so we're out of the woods with all the bird activity going on. I feel safe to say that they're not in this particular section. So we're going to go cut back and go around a little bit further. Hopefully we'll stir them up. Meantime, besides yesterday morning, Joe had a sighting, an encounter on the 4th of July. Well, actually, it was the 5th. It was midnight, but right
Yes.
around that time frame. Can you tell everybody how that went down? What occurred?
Well, I walked in with my girlfriend, and well, needless to say, walked in about 10 yards and I had seen a branch, and then I did a real low guttural yell, and then I waited about 10-15 seconds, and then I rapped on a tree. Boom, boom, boom. And then I had heard a super low tone coming back at me. My girlfriend was holding the flashlight, and I had seen 2 sets of eyes at that moment.
Some people might ask, what were you doing out here at that time?
I was very curious if it was in fact Sasquatch, seeing as I have had other encounters.
At this location. Gotcha. So now, with the flashlight being on and you seeing the eye shine, can you describe the eye shine?
It was a yellowish shine to it,
Okay.
and the eyes were way higher than what a deer would be. I frequent the location, and I know that it was at least 9.5 feet for the eyes for one, and at least 8.5 for the other, roughly.
Now, with the reflection of the light and you seeing these eyes, how far apart would you say they would sit on the face? I mean, if you had like I say a Bigfoot head right there, I mean, how would you position the eyes?
I would have to say about 8 to 9 inches apart.
Gosh, yeah. How big were they?
The eyes?
Yeah,
Very large.
yeah.
Larger than any creature that I've ever ran across in the woods.
Very interesting. And it was just in. So you guys entered 10 yards in.
Yes.
You knocked 3 times on a tree.
Yes.
And you did your guttural sound, low vocalization. You got something in reply.
Yes.
Your girlfriend turned on the light, and then that's when the eye was illuminated. About how far were they from you?
Well, I'd like to say about 50 to 60 yards,
Okay.
if that.
Okay.
I don't know how far my flashlight can penetrate.
Sure. I'm just thinking because it's kind of brushy in there. Woodpecker.
Yeah.
And 50 to 60 yards through all that brush, I'm just thinking it would be kind of hard to see that kind of a reflection. And is that the same flashlight?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not really a candle, like a million candle power or 2 million candle power. It's just a regular halogen, LED.
Halogen.
Yeah. Just thinking because that you make it even more harder to pick up pheasant. The eye shine from 50 to 60 yards with all that brush. From where you were at, how were the creatures positioned? Were they pretty close to each other? Were they at a higher point of view, a lower point of view when that flashlight was on?
A little lower point of view.
Okay. And that would make a little bit more sense, seeing that the light would go out and it would catch probably just the tip of their heads then.
Yes.
Okay. So, prior to the 4th of July,
Yes.
what other things have taken place here?
Well, my girlfriend had called for her son, and then the next week They came back out.
How old is the son?
12 years old.
Okay.
And, well, at that point in time, he was in the vehicle. And she had heard what sounded like his voice calling for her. And vice versa, she thought that he was calling for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he thought that she was calling for him.
So, with that being said, were their names being used?
Yes.
Really? Huh. Wow.
It sounded like her saying, Deacon!
How often does your girlfriend and her son frequent this place?
Very often.
I would have to say so, because it's not unheard of. I would say a Bigfoot mimicking people, especially if they frequent this place without where names are used constantly. They'll pick up on that. So that's very interesting.
Because the kid's very high strung. And she's always got to correct him.
Sure. So then that was, Deacon was being heard, but it wasn't her calling out to him. What was the reply to that? What did she hear in reply? Or what did, yeah, I guess, from, was mom being used too?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's
it was
that's
a
cool.
higher pitch voice.
Okay. So the higher pitched voice was the one returning saying mom, or was the one calling out to Deacon?
Both.
Okay. So do you think it was the same creature that was
Yes.
doing this? Okay. Very cool.
And 2 weeks prior to that, Deacon had been down on the bottom of the hill to the left where you and I had already been, and seen something holding something in its hands, facing left, facing basically the opposite direction as him.
Okay.
Looking at him.
All right.
Down the hill.
Did he describe what he saw?
Yes, it was very tall and very dark at that point in time.
And what time of day was that, would you say?
About 6:30, 6:45 at night.
Okay. So it was still plenty daytime.
Yes.
Pretty bright out still, but
inside the woods a little darker.
Absolutely. Okay.
And he said that it was way taller than me.
And probably at a distance too.
Yes.
Seeing that if it was just dark, it wouldn't be that close to pick up any type of a detail. Okay. So I mean, there's been some things going on here, people. And I'm glad you contacted us. I don't know which team member you were talking to about the rock formations, but I know there's quite a few of us that chime in from time to time on stuff too.
Yes.
So thank you again for getting back to us about that.
Yes.
So we're gonna go hit the woods. Birds are still going on, as you guys can hear as well. 5:51 morning time, July 10th. Keep watching. Over here. All right, so we walked these woods that way, and back, pretty much circle around here before we got into private property, a farmer's fence. The farmer, he's got cattle back there?
Yes.
Okay. So, again, the activity, the birds are just going off too loud right now. Did Woodknocks didn't get any replies. Like I said earlier, I feel confident that they're not in this location at the moment. But from what Joel has been relaying to me is that they frequent this spot as well. How long have you guys been coming to this area?
The past year.
Okay. And within the past year, how many sightings have you had? and Deacon?
Well, myself, I've only had the encounter on the morning of the 5th and yesterday morning.
Okay, 2. And then on the 5th, Deacon. What about Deacon? He had one here as well, correct?
Yes, that was about 2.5, 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Prior to that, have you guys noticed anything, any type of encounter before 2 or 3 weeks ago?
No.
Okay. So then, just recently, all this happened within the 3 weeks.
The last 3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks. Okay. So maybe they're just moving through. I didn't find any deer carcasses, any carcasses of cattle or anything like that. No response to wood knocks. I believe you've seen what you saw. I mean, who else would bring a shotgun into the woods off season? You know, with bird shot in there. I can definitely tell that you had some concern. We'll put it that way. You had some concern. And you were very alert as well, which would make me tell that you were, well, I'll just say you had concern because you seen what you saw.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe that they were passing through. Maybe it's over with now. Who knows? But whatever you do, just don't let it stop you from getting out in the woods and picking these mushrooms out here. You did find some crown tip coral mushroom, pheasant, and I thank you for coming down here and bringing me out to this spot on this location and contacting us. And this is what it's all about, you guys. I mean, coming down here, following up with people who had sightings, encounters. It's just the way research is sometimes, you know. Hopefully we get down there right on the heels of them. Again, unfortunately, their heels ain't here right now. So thank you, Joel. I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Bringing me out to your sighting location. Yeah, don't let it stop you from enjoying the outdoors. I know you're an avid mushroom hunter, avid hunter.
Yep.
But yeah, always be vigilant. Hey, if something else does occur, give us a call and we'll get down here as soon as possible. We were here within 24 hours of the sighting.
Yep.
Again, that took place yesterday morning at 11 a.m. So keep on doing what you're doing, and we'll catch you guys later. Squatch on. All right, by myself on my way back up home. I, for one, believe Joel just by the way he was acting. After doing this for as long as I have, you pick up on people and how they act. He looked at me in the eyes when he would talk to me. He was skittish while we were in the woods. Well, it was still dark before the sun was really out. He went in there with a shotgun, with bird shot. He was a little scared. Off camera, he asked me what he should do if one got a little too aggressive. And him being a hunter, I told him, I says, don't shoot it. You do not want to shoot it. Others will come in. And I say that because of the 1924 incident of Ape Canyon with Fred Beck, the miners, and also what took place at Monster Central, Jim Lansdale. And another one is the siege of Wanabe in Oklahoma. 3 accounts where Bigfoots have been shot, and the one in 1924 with Fred Beck, they did retaliate on the cabin all night until early morning by throwing boulders at the mining cabin. The one in Monster Central on Jim Lansdale's old property, the woods came alive and the other ones came in to help the wounded one out. The siege of Wanabe, the one that was shot, was helped across the street by one or two other creatures, which are great instances that says yes, they do travel in small family groups. And him having seen 3 of them, and for him to shoot one, his life could very well be in danger by doing so. So I just said, don't shoot him. Last thing you want to do is to shoot one. The other ones will come in and get the one that you shot out of there. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I don't think, like I said, I don't think that they were in that area at that time. I do believe he's seen what he saw. And that's that. That's just the name of the research. So I'm heading back home. Those are my final thoughts. And told him to keep an eye out. Keep going there. Anything else happens, cool, great. Contact us. Thanks for watching, and God bless. Squatch on.